Okay, so I have been led by the Lord to share an update regarding my faith walk with Him, my faith journey. I know a few months ago I posted a video or two about how God transitioned me back into my mother's house, and He did that 2 years ago. Yeah, roughly 2 years, a little over 2 years ago. And she's not in a mansion. And I moved in here with 3 kids. It's a tight fit in this house. And I'm not sure what all I'm supposed to be sharing. I'm just going to share what I feel led to share, um, no matter how embarrassing it may seem. When I first found out I'd be moving back in with my mother, I was concerned about the friction. Um, Most women cannot live together, especially when there's children involved. So yeah, I was concerned about that, like that, and so luckily, 2 weeks, if even that long, after my kids and I moved into my mother's house, she got hired at her second job. So that was God. I know that was God. Um, because I know that the more time we're in each other's faces, the more spiritual warfare I would have to endure. And so that was Him protecting me in that sense. Especially when two people living under one roof are not equally yoked spiritually. You know what I mean? So she's been working 2 jobs, and I have been in this house for 2 years. No job, no type of income at all. Uh, at all. Um, no vehicle anymore. Like, God has stripped me of everything, and I know why. I was actually happy when my car was out of the picture. I was like, yes, I ain't gotta worry about no car payments. I don't have to worry about insurance. Granted, most people will be thinking, dude, you have 3 kids, you need a car. Well, no, not if God told me I can't work anymore, but I do know we need vehicles for other stuff, just, not just work. But everything you can think of why we need a vehicle, He has been coming through for me in all of those ways. And He has revealed to me over time, I really don't need a car. At least not at this time. These past 2 years, I have not felt this burden like, dang, man, I wish I had a car so I can do this and do that. No, because I know me. I know me and my kids like to get out and do stuff together. Um, the more time I'm spending outside of the house, the more time I'm spending away from Him. The more time I'm spending away from being in His Word. So I was grateful when the car got gone. Bye bye. And I'm still grateful now. What are the pros to not having my own anything? I mean, the obvious bills. Um, I'm not gonna lie. There have been times where I'm like, God, I cannot do this anymore. I would like to have my own car again. I would like to have my own space again, so I can do me what I want to do me. When you're under someone else's roof, you gotta go by their rules. Not that there's rules per se in my mother's house, but she does like things done a certain way. Like, and I get that. I get it 100%. But I have expressed my concern and my feelings to God. Like, God, it's been 2 years. What exactly are you trying to prove to me? And He has revealed to me why I'm still here. I don't feel led to share that right now, but I'm sure I will soon. Um, what was I saying? Yeah, the pros. Yeah, not having the burden to worry about how bills are going to be paid. because before I moved into my mom's house, when I did have my own space, I wasn't working for like 6 months, and so that was a burden when you have bills to pay and kids to take care of. You're like, oh my God, how's this going to get paid, how's that going to get paid? So now God has taken that burden away from me, and so I'm grateful for that. And the cons to living with my mother: warfare. Just to sum up all the little stuff: warfare. And living with someone who does not understand, why are you a 35-year-old woman living in my house again and you don't have a job? Why don't you have a job? And you can try to explain to a lukewarm Christian why God is doing something in your life that they don't understand, but if the veil is still covering their eyes, you can speak it to them in any language: Chinese, Japanese, Mandarin. They're not going to get it. They're not going to understand it. Another con for me, which is a really big con, is school district. I don't play around when it comes to a good school district, which is something I have always been able to provide for my kids, until we moved back in with my mother because of the area that she lives in. I do not like the schools my kids attend, but I know for sure God is protecting them. My God, I know He's protecting them in them schools. In the inner city, when you have children from different races, different backgrounds, you don't know who's going through what at home. There's literally fights all the time at my son's school. Luckily, he's never been in any of them. He's not a confrontational kid, but that don't mean nothing in most of these schools. Sometimes it's the kids who, are not confrontational, who people want to mess with, but God has been protecting him heavily. So grateful for that. And the same with my daughter, who is in middle school. There's always fights at her school too, and luckily ain't nobody mess with her either. So that right there, it gets me a little emotional thinking about it, because I know it's the power of God protecting them. I know it is in those environments. So another pro to staying home and not working is just having all day basically to allow the Father to download into your spirit what He wants to download, and just having that alone intimacy time with Him. You have time to be in His Word. You have time for worship. You have time to focus in on sorry about that. A fast. If He wants you to fast, no distractions with that. Sometimes, I'll be honest, if I know I'm supposed to be fasting from sweets, for example, and I see my kids eating ice cream or a cookie, I'm like, I want that, but I know I can't have it. So when they're gone for a good 8 hours, I'm like, yes, okay, this is good. It just gives me time to focus in on Him. So that's another pro for me. Okay, so one of the things that I forgot to mention earlier was the first year I moved in here, I homeschooled my kids. Do not walk past this camera. Just stay over there. No, for real. Like, stay over there. Just don't do it. Matter of fact, okay, sorry about that. My little baby's walking around here looking like a woolly mammoth. Can't be having that. Okay, so homeschooling. Yes, the first year we moved in here, I homeschooled them. It was not a decision that I made by myself. I asked them if they were okay with it. My daughter was more than okay with it. My son, he was okay with it. It was fun. It was different. It was not completely organized, but hey, I'm not a professional, and it was also a last minute decision, but we made it do what it do. Okay, we got through it. So after the homeschooling thing, by the time the school year was over with, They were like, yeah, we want to go back to real school. And I was like, you know what, you show right, because this is tiring. So, what have I learned while being here these last 2 years? I have learned all around patience, not just with my children, but I've learned patience in Christ as well. Just learning how to be patient with Him. Something else that I've learned is how to live with little and how to appreciate having little and appreciate what is being provided to me. That is all I feel led to share for this video, but I feel like God is going to have me post maybe weekly with updates regarding my stay here and my transition to my next place. So yeah, stay tuned. Take care.